Happy Friday, everybody. We are finishing the week strong with yet another prospect interview. Today, we are talking to Tyler Palmer, a goaltender from the Victoria Royals. That is coming up today on Locked On Blue Jackets.
Locked On Blue Jackets, your daily podcast on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Blue Jackets. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am, as always, your host, Jay Foster, here to bring you all of the news, the stories, the trials, the tribulations, the joys, the agonies of your favorite team and mine, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Today, we are continuing our draft coverage. The draft is a week today, a week yesterday. It's next week. So we have got a little bit more draft coverage for you coming next week. But today, like I said at the top of the show, we've got another interview with a draft eligible prospect. We're talking to Tyler Palmer, goaltender for the Victoria Royals. So I will just get right into it. So the draft coverage continues. I've got yet another prospect interview here. I am super excited to talk to Tyler Palmer. He's a goaltender for the Victoria Royals, and he's looking to get drafted next week. How's it going, Tyler?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually super excited to talk to you because the only WHL game I've ever seen was a Victoria Royals game back in the day. So we're going to talk about the WHL in a little bit, but I'm excited to reminisce about that rink because it's a really fun one to watch a game in, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice rink.
Yeah. So I guess let's start off. If you could just tell me and my listeners just a little bit about yourself, a little bit about you as a player, and how you got to here.
I'm a goalie. My name's Tyler Palmer. I play for the Victoria Royals, as you said. I come from a small town, kind of on all the way on the other side of BC from Victoria, called Ferry. Really, I'm kind of more of an athletic style goaltender, I would say. I'm not really a big guy that kind of likes to sit back, let the puck hit me. I like to get out, get aggressive, and try and read the play and be agile, I would say.
I love that. So I'm a goalie for my beer league team over here, and I also am very much I always call it like the Jonathan Quick cat with a laser pointer style is kind of the style that I try and emulate. I'm not very big. I'm only like 5. I'm 5'10" on a good day, so I try to be a little bit more athletic than some of my taller goalie friends. But let's talk. When did you realize that like being drafted in the NHL was something that was possible? Like, when did you hit that realization?
Really, just over the course of this year in the WHL, playing against all these high end prospects and realizing that, I'm right there. So I mean, why not me? I could be there too. That's kind of right when it hit me, just during the season.
How are you feeling going into the draft? Are you excited? Are you nervous? A little bit of both?
Yeah, a little excited, a little nervous, but also at the end of the day, I know it's not the end of the world if, it doesn't go my way, because at the end of the day, you want to play there. The goal isn't to ultimately get drafted, it's to play there. So
yeah, for sure. And hockey is still going to be there, even if the draft is not. But we kind of touched on this a little bit already. I wonder if you could give me, what's your scouting report on you? What kind of player is the team that drafts you going to be getting?
Again, just I would say I think I'm a pretty solid puck tracker. I play aggressively. I try to read the play as best I can. I think I'm a good skater. So I can get to cross the crease really quickly. I also pride myself on not getting beat clean because I play aggressively. So I cut down that shot angle, but I also am quick enough to, get across that crease, if it gets to that point. So, yeah, I think I battle hard. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the player that you'd be getting.
Coming up in a minute, I've got more of my conversation with Tyler, but first I've got to tell you about BetOnline. It is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports information. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news for Major League Baseball. You can find next year's Stanley Cup odds. You can find football futures, whatever kind of sport you are interested in, then BetOnline probably has it. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores, and they remain the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. And I bet if you tried real hard, you could find some odds on who is going to be the first Avalanche to be arrested for public drunkenness during their Stanley Cup celebration. So head to the website today, that is betonline.net, or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action, because BetOnline is where the game starts. Is there a player that you kind of modeled your game after, anyone that you watched growing up and you were like, I want to be like that guy? Or
Yeah, there's a few really. Right from day one, Marc-Andre Fleury I was a huge fan of him. He's a little unorthodox, but I just loved his compete and his battle. And then, there's also Carey Price, another big name. And, he was kind of on the other side where he was just so structured and calm. So, I kind of wanted to add both of those elements somehow, add a nice mixture of those. And then also more recently, I've kind of been watching UC Soros and how he almost has a little bit of that mixture. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of, I like it. I like that style.
yeah, I'm always so impressed by UC Saros because again, he's not a big goalie, but he somehow manages to fill the net, which
Yeah.
is always impressive. Is there anything that you kind of want to work on over the summer? Like you've been drafted, you know that you need to have a big you want to have the best impact on the training camp and the rookie camp that you can. Like, what do you want to work on over the summer to make sure that you can do that?
Yeah, I really want to work on my puck handling a lot. I think, being able to control the game from your back end, just being able to help out your defense that much. I've seen it with Mike Smith in Edmonton and just how much less stress that their D is under when he's playing the puck well. So I think that's something I really want to work on. And yeah, also just, getting reps in and getting better at reading those plays so that I can play aggressively. Because I think I have that speed and agility to get across, but if you don't have the read on the play, it's still tough to get there. So I think getting better at those reads is something I also want to work on.
Yeah, for sure. You being a goalie, I've got to ask, superstitions? Yes, no? Is it a secret? Are you allowed to tell us?
Not really. I know there's that whole, everyone always says that whole thing about the shutout word. They're like, don't say the S word because you're gonna jinx it. I don't think that has any impact on anything. Whether someone in the stands says shutout, the word shutout, it's not gonna impact the game. But so I'm not really superstitious. I have my rituals that I do before a game, but they're not crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like goalies always go one of two ways. I feel like they're either just really aggressively normal or they are just completely the other way. Like, I have to eat this many grams of whatever and I have to put my shoes on at exactly this time, you know? So it's always nice to hear from one of the more normal goalies, we'll say.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about the WHL because you play in Victoria. Did you always want to go WHL? Was there any thoughts about, a different league or the NCAA or anything like that?
Yeah, there was definitely right from day one, I would say, yeah, the WHL is where I wanted to go. And then, as I got closer, I definitely started to debate the NCAA. And then, the WHL when I in my 17-year-old year didn't quite go my way. So then I was really looking towards going the NCAA side. I played with the Spruce Grove Saints, so the AJHL. And yeah, I was really looking towards maybe getting a scholarship. And then all of a sudden I get moved to Victoria. They start talking to me. They want to sign me, get me there next, for this year. So then I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So.
Awesome. So obviously Victoria is pretty out there for WHL teams. I've kind of been asking a lot of the prospects that I talk to about the bus rides because obviously they've got to be killer and even worse for you. Do you get the ferry across to the mainland, and then you've got the bus ride ahead of you, or what's that like?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, we pack all our stuff up at the rink, and then it's like a half-hour drive about to the ferries. Then we have to ferry across, which takes about an hour and a half, and then we get to go to our bus ride. So it's like a 2 hours before we even basically start our trip almost. Which, I mean, you get used to it over time. It's kind of nice being able to get off the bus on the ferry and walk around a little bit. But at the same time, it's also like an extra 2 hours. So, I mean, I don't know, there's ups and downs to it. Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Is it tough to like prep for games while you're sitting on a bus for however many hours while you travel to like, I don't know. I've gone completely blank on every WHL team. Like Swift Current, I guess, is probably one of the ones that's pretty far away. Like, is it tough to prep for your game while you're stuck on a bus?
I mean, usually we stay overnight and then we prep at the hotel all day. That's just kind of the WHL. The schedule usually allows for some time for travel so that you can properly prepare. So yeah, I mean, we will be going to Swift Current, which is pretty far, but we'll be doing a road trip around Alberta. So we'll kind of just be going from city to city, and we'll have, rest in between. So we'll play, travel to the next city, stay the night. We might have a full day there, and then play the next day. So we usually get to prepare at the hotel. And so, I mean, it's usually pretty much the same. So I think the preparation is actually relatively easy that way.
In a minute, I've got the end of my conversation with Tyler, but first I want to tell you about Built Bar because they've got a brand new bar. You've probably tried the amazing coconut brownie chunk Built Bar, but guess what? Your friends over at Built have given it the Puffs treatment, and I am so, so, so excited. I love coconut brownie chunk Built Bar. I love Built Puffs, and putting them both together is just, it is the perfect Built Bar, in my opinion. They're good for you. They are low calorie, low sugar, high protein, high deliciousness, and they're only here for a limited time. So you have to go to built.com right now to make sure that you don't miss out because they're going fast. They taste incredible. I'm buying 1 million of them as soon as I finish recording this podcast. So you should run, don't walk. The best part about Built Puffs is they taste amazing, but you can enjoy them guilt-free. They're made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently, and it provides tons of health benefits. So you can eat something that tastes good and is good for you. So go to Built.com right now. Here's the best bit. You can use promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your order. Once again, that's promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your order at Built.com. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like, it didn't occur to me that you would just go from city to city. I think I was thinking, like, man, you have to drive to Swift Current and then back, and then to Red Deer and then back. But I guess the schedule probably works out in
Yeah.
your way, in your favor, that way. Speaking of road trips, what's your favorite arena to play in? Obviously, your home arena is the best one. But what's your favorite away arena to play in?
Yeah, home is definitely my favorite. My second favorite one would probably be, well, I mean, we haven't actually played in all of the rinks yet because this year we only played the BC and the US division. But I mean, out of those rinks to play in, I would say my favorite would have to be probably Seattle's really fun to play in because I mean the crowd it's almost the complete opposite of home. The crowd is just so against you. It's a nice building, but it's like they're so against you. Like it's fun at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. What's been your best memory of your season with Victoria?
Best memory that would probably have to be when we first. I mean, some people may know that the start to our season wasn't the greatest, but then we finally got rolling and we beat in overtime the Everett Silvertips, who was the top in our conference at the time, and yeah, that was just like really big moment for our team. I think it kind of made everyone realize that we can compete, and then we kind of went on a run after that. So that was a big moment.
Yeah, it's always fun to beat the big guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I want to go back to the draft for a little bit. Obviously, we had your kind of scouting report on you earlier. Do you pay attention to like rankings, draft reports, scouting reports, or anything like that, or do you just kind of play your game, stop pucks, don't worry about it?
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the rankings so far. I'm pretty sure my parents have, and they've kind of been looking. But yeah, I don't really care too much about the rankings. I kind of just, I try to compare myself to like when I'm playing against a guy that I know is up there. I'm just like, okay, I need to beat this guy. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah, one game at a time.
Yeah.
Have you got plans for the draft? Are you going to be watching it? Are you going to be pretending it's not happening? I've had answers on both sides, so
Yeah, no, I'll be watching it. I don't know how closely I'll be watching it, but we'll definitely be just at home with it, with the draft on the TV.
yeah, just keeping an ear out just in case.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything that we kind of haven't talked about like your game or anything that you want people to know that we haven't mentioned? Or
No, not really. I don't think. I mean, hockey isn't my only sport that I've ever that I like. I mean, I'm a pretty athletic guy. That's really the only other thing. I play a lot of. Well, I've actually been golfing a lot recently, and I was pretty good at baseball as well. So there's
yeah,
that.
what made you decide hockey then instead of baseball?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was pretty good at both, but I mean, for some reason, I don't know. Hockey was just always. My dad played hockey. Everyone in my family played hockey, and I mean, it was always on the TV, and it was just something I always loved. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. I might be biased because it's my only sport, but I think it's the best one. So
It's a lot more of a Canadian sport too. So
yeah, definitely. All right. Well, yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything. So thanks for taking the time to come on the show. Good luck in the draft. We'll be
yeah.
keeping an ear out for you.
All right, thank you.
And that's kind of all I've got for you today. Next week we have our final draft profiles. I've got Sam McGilligan of McKean's Hockey to talk about a couple of potential first rounders that could be Blue Jackets as of this time next week. So that's coming up on Monday and Tuesday next week. I've been Jay Foster. You can find me on Twitter at _Jacob Foster, JAKOB FORSTER. You can find this podcast at LO_Blue Jackets. If you have comments, questions, criticisms, you can email me at lockedonbluejackets@gmail.com. Thank you for making this your first listen of the day every day, or your first watch. Locked On Blue Jackets is free and available on all podcast platforms, also on YouTube. So if you are not watching on YouTube, then you can head on over there, hit subscribe, hit like, hit comment, hit whatever you like, as long as you give me the view while you are there. Enjoy your weekend. I hope the weather is much nicer for you than it will be for me. And until Monday, make sure you stay locked on.